Gordon, a big part of the narrative coming into this series is how would a young core such as yourselves respond to playoff pressure, and you guys through 5 games have held up pretty well to that. How have you guys been able to do that collectively, and how can you keep doing that going forward?
As far as like this kind of being like our first series, is that what you mean? Yeah. I think a lot of what we've been through the last, 3 years or whatever it's been together has helped us where we're at now. I remember talking about that at times where we had lost, at times where we had been successful, about learning from it. And we'll be able to use some of those experiences later. I think that's helping us now. Obviously, this is way different than a lot of us have been a part of. And so we're trying to soak up the experiences, lean on some of the veterans, Joe, G, Boris, let them guide us a little bit. But like I said, I think those experiences helped us.
Gordon, you guys are going back home for Game 6, up 3-2. How do you guys stay balanced, not too high, not too low, but still focus on taking care of business?
Yeah, it's something that we've been trying to do all series. You can't get too high on the highs. We won Game 1. Can't get too low on the lows. Lost the next 2. So for us, we have to treat this one as like a must-win. We want to close it out in Salt Lake. We definitely don't want to come back, here for Game 7. But you treat it just like you prepare the same way you have with all the other games. Try to be focused and be ready to go.
For Rodney, what's it like to have a guy like Joe Johnson who can make those timely shots and also play make for you guys, hit you guys for open shots?
It's huge, especially going down the stretch of games. This guy right here hits a lot of big shots, and to have another guy to step up and make plays for everybody, it's big for our team, and his poise has been just as important, making plays out the double teams or creating for itself. So it's been big.
Back right here. Rodney, your coach was saying, your lineup has been through so many combinations that he doesn't really differentiate between starters and guys on the bench. Do you think that helps you with production off the bench?
Yeah. It's just about what you do when you're out there. Whether you start or coming off the bench. Our job, everybody's job, is to play hard and be confident offensively. So, I think we've been doing that, especially the latter part of the season when the lineup's been different. And we just continue to play hard, give ourselves a chance to win.
Gordon, with about 3 minutes left, you got the tap-out rebound to Joe for that 3. What did you see on that play? And I guess most importantly, why did you go for the rebound there instead of going back on defense?
I think it was just adrenaline taking over at that point in time, competitive juices. You wanted to stay in the play. It's the end of the game. There's not going to be too much transition. Both teams are kind of setting things up, so you can afford to crash the glass a little bit and just try to make a play.
Gordon, how do you carry that energy over to Game 5?
To Game 6?
Game 6, I'm sorry.
To be honest, there's going to be so much energy in that building. Our fans are tremendous, and playing in front of them, I know they're going to be loud. They're going to bring us a lot of energy. I think we want to try to carry some of the momentum that we have right now, and that we can do from watching film, from just remembering, how we got to where we are right now. So I think that answers your question.
Sorry. Gordon, what happened with the, call it a scrum with Chris?
Again, I think that's something where adrenaline takes over. I think there's just something in basketball when there's a little scrum like that. You want to make sure you get the ball and come out with the ball. He tried to take it from me, so I just didn't let him. It's just competitive adrenaline.
Gordon, what did you see from the Clippers when they made that run to tie the game early in the 4th, and how did you guys respond?
Well, they were running something to get either JJ or Chris Paul a look. It's actually a play that we run as well. It's hard to guard. They've got 3 good players, that are running the play, and Chris Paul hit 2 big threes. So we had to figure out how to try to stop that. But it's definitely a tough play to guard. I'm sure they'll go back to it.
There's always talk about having in the playoffs veteran players and people who have been there before, but quite the opposite with your team. Can you kind of explain how that's working in your favor?
Well, I think we do have veterans on our team. It's just not our whole team. Like I said, those three that we've added, George and Boris and Joe, have done it all, and we lean on them a lot. And I think us being together, as far as the other guys, I think, like I said, the last 3 years we've been in a lot of situations where came down to the wire. We were successful on some of them, we failed on some of them, and I think those experiences helped us, and I think they're helping us now. So we're still learning, and we're learning from our vets. We're letting them guide us a little bit, and we're out there competing. I think when you play hard and play smart, a lot of that takes care of itself.
Gordon, you played a full game today with what looked like no ill effects. How does your body feel now that the game's done?
Yeah, I didn't have very much legs out there. I think it was good that I got some open looks early. My teammates got me some wide open ones. Definitely helps you when you see the ball go, through the hoop. But I was definitely tired out there. There was points in time where I didn't have legs, and I said before the game I was going to lean on my teammates. Rodney stepped up and hit some big shots. Joe Johnson, you saw late, we were running a lot of stuff through him, and so a lot of it was just leaning on my teammates. I'm pretty tired, and thankful we have a couple days off. Try to recover as much as I can.
Last question here, Zach.
Gordon, you mentioned that there's not a lot of transition in those final minutes, and so you can maybe be a more aggressive. You guys slow the pace so much throughout the entire game. Does that kind of set you up for success in those final minutes because it's slower?
I mean, we want to try to control the game and play at our pace, make the other team have to guard the whole possession, make them try to scramble. It's tiring when you're guarding for 20 seconds and somebody gets a wide open shot. It's a draining effect. And so I think at the end of the game, something that we're definitely used to is playing slow like that. We want to be opportunistic when we are in transition, but also, like I said, we want to play at our pace. And they like to run. I think it's a little different with Blake out. It changes some of the things they do, but we want to play at our pace.
Thanks, guys.
It's a good night from Staples. Thank you.